Welcome back to the channel. My name is Liv and this is Orator Academy, where I help you improve your vocabulary one word at a time. And today's word is freedom. We've all at some point in our lives felt the need to be free from something, whether that's sadness, debt, undesirable financial circumstances. We've all wanted to be free from something at some point. My 11-year-old wants to be free from my rules. He wants the freedom to make his own. But what idea does freedom bring to mind for you? For me, freedom brings to mind images of bright, sunny days. And who can blame me? I live in the UK. It brings to mind images of being outdoors in nature, enjoying the weather with my nearest and dearest, running free and feeling a sense of contentment and peace. But I'm aware that freedom doesn't bring that same image to mind for everyone. So let's take a look at the definition.
Free at last! Thank God Almighty! We're free at last!
Yes, Virgil. Thanks for the Martin Luther King quote.
Wasn't Martin Luther the guy who invented the Church of England?
No, Virgil. Martin Luther King was not Martin Luther. And Martin Luther is German.
Did he like German sausage? I love German sausage. Yum!
Virgil. So freedom is a noun with two meanings. The first being the power or the right to act as one thinks or feels. The second is the state of not being imprisoned or enslaved. As is shown in the definition, freedom typically takes two forms, either freedom from or freedom to. And here are some examples of how we conceptualize freedom in the world. So the first is personal freedom. Freedom is often associated with individual rights and liberties, including the right to express yourself, the right to privacy, and the right to pursue your own personal happiness. The idea that the individual has the right to hold their own thoughts and express their own viewpoints without fear of persecution. The pursuit of living in a society where individuals are treated equally and are not discriminated against based on race, gender, ethnicity, or any other characteristic. The ability to travel and move freely within and between regions and countries without unnecessary restriction, and freedom as a human right. Then there's existential freedom. This philosophical idea explores the idea that humans have the right to create meaning and purpose within their own lives. Economic freedom relates to the ability of individuals and businesses to pursue economic activity without excessive restriction or government control. In historical and social justice contexts, freedom is seen as something that needs to be actively pursued and fought for, especially in the face of oppression. Artists often express freedom through their work, challenging societal norms and pushing the boundaries of creativity. These are just a few examples, and the concept of freedom can be highly subjective, influenced by culture, history, or personal perspectives. The word freedom is an important addition to the English language. It expresses some of our most cherished values and important philosophical ideas. Freedom is such a consistent theme in our culture that it has become an intrinsic part of who we are as human beings. But where did the word come from? How did it come to be such an important part of the English language? Freedom is derived from the Proto-Germanic word frias, which means beloved. Yes, I said beloved. The Proto-Germanic word frias is constructed by linguists to represent the common ancestor of the Germanic family of languages.
I can do it! This is where Martin Luther comes in, right?
What?
Martin Luther King is German, right? Maybe he went back in time and invented the word freedom so he can use it in his speech. The free at last speech.
Virgil, Martin Luther King is not German.
Maybe Martin Luther King is really Martin Luther reincarnated.
No, Virgil.
Reincarnation is real!
It's a combination of the root word pri, which means to love, and the suffix yas, which denotes possession. So when we break it down, the root pri is associated with the concept of being loved or being dear, and it has connections with many other Indo-European languages. In this context, the sense of beloved or dear is fundamental to the origin of the word freedom. The suffix yas is used to form adjectives which denote possession or quality. In the case of free as, it turns the root into an adjective, creating the meaning of belonging to the love or possessing the quality of being dear. The combination of the root and the suffix give rise to the Proto-Germanic word frias, which carries a dual meaning of free and beloved. This duality suggests a connection between freedom and being cherished or valued, suggesting the idea that one who is free is loved or cherished. The evolution from love to free is probably from the term beloved being applied to free members of one's clan as opposed to the slaves. In Old English, the word became friodom, and it meant acting on one's own free will, being exempt from or not in bondage. It could also mean noble or joyful, depending on the context of its use. The word freedom, as we spell it today, first appeared around the Middle English period. That's a period spanning roughly between the 11th to the 15th centuries. By the 14th century, the late Middle English period, the word freedom was in regular use and continued to be used in the context of not being in bondage or servitude. In its original context, freedom meant to be loved, and to be loved meant to belong. It meant to feel safe. It meant knowing that you don't walk the path of life alone. So, in light of what we now know about the origin of the word freedom, I want to ask you a question. Are you free? Answer me in the comments below. Don't forget to also like the channel. This helps the channel more than you know. Also, share it with someone you love. I'll see you in the next one.